Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Skyblock Stars and Celebrities. What do they know? Do they know things? Let's find out. And we're going to get right into the first question today. So I'm going to give you an item's perks, and you are going to have to think of what that item is. The first item today is an item that is going to give you unlimited flight on your island, and it is going to make you not lose any coins. Everyone, think of your answer right now. So what do you think it is? A booster cookie? No, I was looking for a phoenix pet. What do you mean they have the same perks? That might be a problem. Hello random people on the internet, my name is Banana, and today we are talking about the Phoenix pet in Hypixel Skyblock and the absolute neglect it has gotten from the admins. But before we get to that, I just want to remind you that only a small percentage of the people who actually watch this video are subscribed. I would really appreciate if you would go down below and subscribe. We're going for like 100 billion subs, and I don't know if I'll be able to get 100 billion subscribers without all of you guys going down below, pressing that subscribe button. So yeah, the Phoenix pet. The Phoenix pet has been in the game since Pets V1 was added, and originally people had no idea how to get it, and then it was revealed that the Phoenix pet has a 1 in 20 million drop chance from every single mob in the game. So you could be out here killing zombies, you could be grinding Enderman, you can do whatever you want, and you have the chance to get a Phoenix, and it is an absurdly low chance. But this pet used to be really good because the perks on it gave you infinite flight on your islands back when there was only the 2-minute mushroom soups. So you'd have to drink a lot of them if you wanted a long soup timer. And if you left your island, your soup timer actually disappeared. So the Phoenix was really good in that aspect. It also made you not lose any coins on death, which made it much easier to just casually use an emerald blade without worrying about a piggy bank cracking, without worrying about any bugs, because the Phoenix would for sure save you there. And it had the perk Rekindle, which would save you and just like spawn you in again. And like all those perks made it a pretty okay pet. It was never considered like the best in the game, but people definitely did want the Phoenix and they were hyped when they got the drop because, I mean, for one, it is so rare, but it was also okay. So what happened? What killed the Phoenix pet and makes me say that it is one of the worst pets in the game right now? Well, to start off with something that was just always bad, the perk on Phoenix called Fourth Flare, where you're dealing like a percentage of your crit damage over a certain amount of time, it's always been really bad. It's always been a very lacking perk damage-wise. You can have so many different pets that are just going to give you more damage. Like you look at something like the Wither Skeleton, that thing is going to be way more damage than something like Fourth Flare. So that was already bad. But then the admins sort of have taken a lot of the things that Phoenix did really well and just added them onto other things. The first thing that I would say did this was dungeons, because when dungeons released, they did add something called the Bonzo Mask. Do I have a Bonzo Mask? Yes, I do. I was very worried that I didn't, but you can see instead of dying, you gain damage immunity and 20 strength for 3 seconds and fully replenish your health. This is pretty much exactly what the Phoenix's Rekindle perk was, and I mean, sure, it's only usable in dungeons, but that's still one of the only areas where you're going to be consistently dying other than grinding mythology, which you can't really use a Phoenix for because you need to have a Griffin pet out for that. So that perk is immediately useless. As I said earlier, the Phoenix was considered very useful for something like building farms, because back in the day, in 1942, you could actually only pop 2 minutes of soup at a time. If you left your private island, it would actually like get canceled, so you couldn't just chug a lot of it. And I mean, there was no just other ways to get infinite flight. The Phoenix was just a nice way to be able to build farms like that, and it had the perk to make you not lose coins. But in the community center update, Hypixel added 2 new things with the cookie buff. If you look at the cookie buff, you can see that you keep coins and effects on death, and you have permafly on private islands. So the last 2 perks of the Phoenix are literally just completely useless now. They were already sort of useless when it came to something like a piggy bank existing, when it came to something like mystical mushroom soup coming out, and the ability to keep soup when changing islands. But this just, it just straight up murdered the Phoenix pet. Now the only perk perk that is sort of unique on the pet is Fourth Flare, and Fourth Flare is really bad already. Fourth Flare is a very mediocre perk compared to the rest of the perks in the game. So this 1 in 20 million drop is now still worth a lot of coins because collectors still want it for their pet score, but this thing is just, it's not good anymore. The Phoenix has always been in a very weird spot in the game because the admins themselves have stated that the Phoenix is not meant to be farmed. You're not meant to go and kill 20 million mobs in the hopes of getting a Phoenix. It's supposed to be like winning the lottery, and if you do want to buy the pet, you are pretty much forced to buy it from AH from anyone who does get absurdly lucky. But that makes it a very weird balancing issue because you have to somehow reward the players who get the Phoenix by making them have a pretty good pet. But you can't make it so good that every single player needs to go and get it. You can't have the Phoenix pet being the best pet in the game when it is just fully RNG based. There's no extra chance to get Phoenix. There's nothing you can do to try and get better luck for a Phoenix. You literally just need to have God tier RNG. So it's always going to be in a spot where you need to keep it as a good pet, but you can't have it be the best pet. And I mean, another thing with the Phoenix is the pet has never been something of like a perfect niche. You've never had a very like great activity for just the Phoenix pet. There's never been a time where it's just like, oh, what's the best pet for doing dragons? You know, obviously the Phoenix. And that's purely because I think the Phoenix's perks were really like non-synergistic. You had a perk that prevented you from dying, but also a perk that saved coins whenever you died, so they don't really work together because one is stopping you from using the other one. And I mean, infinite flight on your islands was cool, but it's not a perk that a pet should really have unless you are fully building the pet around working on your island. Like if you had like a builder pet that helped you place blocks faster or something, and then you included that on there, that would make sense. But I think since the Phoenix has all of its perks put somewhere else, it gives the admins a great opportunity to make the Phoenix something new. I don't really know what I would recommend for it. I mean, I look at the stats of the Phoenix and you can see it gives a lot of intelligence, and it also is meant to be like crit damage based on its second perk there. So I feel like the admins don't really know what they're doing with the pet. I don't really know what they're doing with the pet, and I hope that this just gives them the ability to reset it, put it in its own niche, make it a combat pet, make it fully based around you not being able to die, and just give Rekindle different perks the higher level you get. I don't really know. There's so many options that they could really go with for the Phoenix pet, and I'm excited to see what they do. I just really hope that they do something, because otherwise this pet is just outclassed by a cookie and a Bonzo mask, because that's literally all you need to get the same exact pet. But I think that is going to be all for today's video. If you did enjoy, or if it helped you out at all, I would really appreciate a like or a subscription down below. I mean, it's free. You can undo it later. It'd be pretty epic of you. And yeah, I will talk to you guys in the next video. Peace out.